mayor, not elected mayor, acting mayor. All right? You want to run around calling yourself a mayor when you weren't elected, be my guest. I could care less, you know? Be my guest. But the vice president and running for that particular office, too much time is spent on foolish, unnecessary things.
Well, do you know why the council is divided?
Again, I'll say it again. There are bigger fish to fry. Well, we're missing money. We're missing jobs in this city, and no one is paying attention to it. But you want to know what? Obviously, no one cares because they're not challenging. No one. They all sit there drinking their beer or their coffee, and all they do is mumble-jumble, and all they do is complain. Oh, you know what I mean? How can you possibly defend people who do not represent you the way you should be represented? And I'm talking about from the presidency on down, Nancy Pelosi, Chris Dodd, Bonnie Frank, and you will have people that will defend what they've done, will actually defend. You got me scared here because, you know, you better hope we don't become a one-party country. Well, you know what I'm saying? But getting back to Fall River, all right?
Roland, this is
the
big thing.
If you don't pay attention to what's going on in Fall River, and I'm talking to all of them out there, if they don't, and if everybody thinks they got the answer, and that this is going to right itself, are you in for a big shock?
Roland, they got Brian Bigelow, who is spent a 10-year on the school committee.
I worked with him at the sheriff's office.
Okay, he was a music teacher for a while, and I remember him as a music teacher. Okay, he was on the school committee for a long time. He actually voted for Fisher to come in on a break between Mayo Brown back then, and he was one of the. I guess his vote was one of the turning votes to get Fisher in here. Now I look in the Herald online, and now it's Bigelow looks to settle presidency. So here he comes. He's number 10 on the seat, right?
Yep.
And you should have seen the post on it. People are upset that this is Mayor Carreras, one of his followers. He spent time at the Diamond School Committee. He was on there for a while until something came about. Here's the problem. You got Mayor Carreras, you got his followers here, and you got whoever's following Leo Pelletier on their side. There's a big wall right here. Big wall, okay? Brian Bigelow is saying that he's independent. He says that he's going to be independent, and he's calling a meeting that he's going to call it fairly, that he wants to put this to a vote. What's going to happen is this is between Ray Haig and Joe Camara. Now, who do you think Brian Bigelow is going to vote for?
Hey, again, like I say, you got to think about your priorities. Brian Bigelow is a nice guy. He's nice to talk to. He's very polite. He's just a nice guy. He may be too nice for what Fall River needs right now, okay? He may be a little too nice. You need some action in Fall River, but most of all, you need a game plan. There is no game plan.
Well, not when you spend time on stupid things.
Just take a look at what's going on there, and all they'll do is they point fingers. And I'm telling you now that the reason why Fall River is like it is because certain people keep getting paid every Thursday. They could care less if the city falls through into the black hole. They get their check every Thursday, and that's good enough for them. But ask them to come up with something constructive, okay, instead of being destructive. Can we sit down? Can we iron this out? Can we come up with a game plan, again, like I said, to move the city forward? Now there are issues that they need to be addressing. Instead, he's calling a meeting.
Well, yeah.
And how's that going to impact Fall River? How is that going to? How's that going to make it better for people there that are not working?
It's nonsense.
People that are sick.
Well, it's nonsense because, like I said, you got one guy saying, "Hey, look, I want to be the president. I want to be the president. I want to be the president."
Look,
listen. If I'm not voted to be the president, fine. They don't want me to be on.
You'll have the type of government you want. If that's the kind of government you want, that's what you got. Look at this thing. I was watching it this morning. All right. Change you can believe in. That's incredible. You bought that? I mean, that's the biggest bunch of malarkey I ever heard in my life. Change you can believe in. Ain't doing too good right now. I know the excuses. Well, you know, he ain't got 60 days in yet. He ain't got 30 days in yet. You're right, he ain't got 30 days in.
Already a lot
but let me tell you something. The choices and decisions he's making are horrendous. All right? Now, here's a guy that convinced people that he was the man for the job, okay? And already 3 or 4 of his people have been knocked out of the box to take positions.
Very important positions.
I do not live in Washington, D.C.
No, of course not.
I live in Swansea. I've lived in Fall River. I spend my money in Fall River. And I may end up living in Fall River again someday. It's I'll say it's a great city. I've seen it go downhill.
What's your mission?
Like anybody else, you know what I mean? I'm never going to go to one of those. Maybe you are, but
I'm just kidding.
You know, no, I know. But the thing is that who's doing the thinking in Fall River?
Nobody.
Who's thinking for that city? Who's thinking? Because they certainly haven't proven that they're up to the task. All right. Nothing has happened except that. Here's what I'm going to tell you. You make a list of all the companies that have left Fall River, closed up, went belly up. I don't care what excuse you got, as opposed to how many came into the city, and you're going to be shocked. All right.
Well, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. I have a lot of stuff that just today I can talk. It's just driving. There's so many things. You know, hey, drop me an email. Bristol County News at Comcast.net. And you know, I got some stuff that I want to talk about, because I've had people approach me about the stormwater relief, and they have something about that in the Herald today, about the buildings in the city being reusing the empty schools. What are we going to do with that? About the stuff on Sheriff Hodgson that wants to make the inmates pay that canteen price again. We have a company that was violated with hazardous waste violations, and we also have updates on LNG. And Roland.
Yeah, if you want to look at this is incredible. Look. There's a conspiracy here against this company. There's no doubt. I've studied it. I've checked into it. I mean, there's more to this than meets the eye. I lived at Pleasant View for 26 years. I worked at Shell Oil for 2 years when we brought in high-test gas for Otis Air Force Base. You got to be kidding me. New path for LNG. Excuse me. What about this one? What about those two twin towers that look like 3 Mile River that can be converted to a nuclear power plant that's going to go up in Somerset, and no one has said a word, except what you want to do is, oh, I don't want an LNG tank. It's a storage tank. You've had one down in the South End for how long?
This thing
1,000 jobs.
This thing is
incredible. Look at it. It's the same dimensions as 3 Mile Island, yet there's not one peep. But yet, new path LNG, look, LNG fight will go on. Nice going, Bob. LNG fight will go on.
He has no money for
1,000 jobs, millions of dollars. No one even wants to sit and talk with these people. Here's what you do. You invite them down to BCC. You bring the people down there, and you go at it. You know, I'm not like the people that complain about LNG. Where is their degree in chemical engineering? Where is their degree in maritime engineering? They don't know a damn thing about what they're talking about. Oh, it'll explode. Who thought that one up?
Well,
of course it doesn't explode.
Here's what we're doing.
You don't know what you're talking about. You're scaring the hell out of people, and it's not fair because Fall River is suffering with that. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. The two twin towers. Look at it. Right here.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. And
3 Mile River.
We're running out of time. Here's what we're going to do. I have talked to Grosso Associates.
Well, you got me going now.
I've talked to Grosso Associates, and I've also talked to possibly other people coming down from Weaver's Cove. Listen, I want to find out the facts from Weaver's Cove's aspect, and I want us the coalition's aspect. We're going to have both of them on here, one at a time, and we're going to get the truth out to the public.
Invite Davey Sullivan down. He's got all the answers to LNG.
That seat's open for anybody. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen.
That's who I'd invite down here.
Bristol County News, Comcast.net. Drop me a line. We got a lot to talk about. I'll be out there. We're gonna work on this stuff. Hopefully, we're gonna work on making a better city for you in Fall River and a better Bristol County all around.
A wild and scenic river.
Beautiful.
Thank you, next time. Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. You're really doing a great job.
Well, thank you very much.